Truth and lies. I stare at Nina, confused, then look down at my hands. My fingers are translucent. Sand and shells clearly visible through them. I turn them over and over again. This isn't possible. I'm not dead. So why am I fading? My breath judders into my lungs. I try to run back in the direction of the house, but the sand pulls on my feet so it feels like I'm moving in slow motion. Thoughts zoom through my mind, not being allowed past the fence, how the living always seemed so warm, the way the gate felt familiar when I leaned into it. Could I be dead? Is that possible? I remember the way my hands felt weird when I went to the bothy with Benjamin, just like they do now. I look down at my fingers again and see my feet through them. I dig my nails into my palms but feel nothing. My hands are cold and numb, that's all, and the fading must be a trick of the moonlight. I squeeze my nails into my palms even harder until I feel pain. There, I can't be dead. But still my mind swirls. Something isn't right. Come on, I shout, we have to get back. I run closer to the water where the sand is firmer and pick up speed. I need Baba. She'll explain this. She'll make everything all right again. Slow down, Nina calls after me, breathless. What's wrong? I can't slow down and I can't explain. My head is spinning, my vision blurred. My cheeks are hot and wet, although I don't know if it's from tears or the spray off the ocean. My heartbeat thunders and blood pounds in my ears. A rush of anger burns through me as I realise whatever is going on, it's something Baba has kept from me. The pounding gets louder until the whole ground is shaking and a wave of relief washes over me as I realise the house is approaching, hurtling towards us through the darkness. Huge chicken feet slide to a halt in a storm of sand and spray, and the house leans over at me like it wants to scoop me right up. Marinka! Baba opens the door as the house lowers to the ground. I've been so worried. She spots Nina and her face changes from concern to realisation to disappointment. I stare back at her and hold up my hands. I faded, I shout. Why did I fade? Something flashes in Baba's eyes. Maybe sadness or guilt, but she blinks it away before I can figure it out. We'll talk about that later. Look at this girl. She turns to Nina. Goodness, child, we must get you inside. She beckons Nina to the porch steps. What is your name? Nina bites her lip, tears welling. I don't know. She looks like she's about to disappear completely. She's just a pale green dress, a faint shadow of long dark hair and big lost eyes. What is her name, Marinka? How long has she been here? Baba asks. Why did I fade? I shout again, even louder, stamping my foot on the sand. Am I dead? Baba's shoulders fall. I'll explain soon. Come inside. She wraps her shawl around Nina and ushers her through the door. Already the house is giving Nina energy for her journey, making her seem more real. I inspect my fingers. They're solid again. I press them into my palms and feel my fingernails straight away. The door swings shut. Baba has gone inside without even answering my question. It's all about the dead and guiding for her. What about me? Don't I have a right to know what I am and why I'm here, stuck in this stupid house on legs? I kick the porch step so hard I make my big toenail bleed. Ah! I shout into the empty sky. I hate this house! The house shuffles down into the sand, melts the porch steps towards me and opens the front door. I turn my back on it and stare at the sea. It's not fair. Baba should have answered me and explained why I faded. A tear escapes from the corner of my eye. Jack lands on my shoulder, one of his wings smacking me hard on the ear. Get off! I yell, pushing him away. You're so clumsy. I fall to my knees in the sand, ashamed of myself. It's not like this is Jack's fault. I put my head in my hands in the hope it will stop it from spinning, and Jack pushes something soft and wet into my palm. I open my fingers, look at the squashed fish dumpling and laugh. It's a strange laugh, made of too many emotions I can't control. Jack tilts his head, silver eyes shining at the moonlight, and cackles back at me. Come inside, my Cheleka. Baba's shadow falls over us. I push myself to my feet and wipe my eyes. I don't want her to see me crying. I want her to know how angry I am that she kept this, whatever this is, from me. Nina is wrapped in Baba's shawl by the fire, a bowl of fresh ukha in her hands. She stares at the flames beneath the cauldron, memories dancing in her eyes. She looks slightly more solid than before, but her edges are still drifting into the air. Will she be all right? I ask, my stomach twisting. Baba frowns, drapes my thick horsehair blanket around my shoulders and leads me to a chair at the table. She pours a bowl of ukka, passes it to me, and steam rises between us. Why didn't you tell me she was here? I look down at the soup and shrug. You know what a serious responsibility guiding is. We're here to help these souls complete their cycle. You can't stay in this world after death. You know that. They'll fade away and be lost forever. I push a lump of pale fish around with my spoon, submerging it beneath the stock and then watching it bob up again. I can't believe Baba is going on about responsibilities and dead souls when she still hasn't answered my question. Baba shakes her head. I'm disappointed you kept this from me. What about what you kept from me? I shout. When were you going to tell me I'm dead? I stare at her, eyes blazing, willing and wanting her to tell me I'm not dead. I need her to make everything all right again. Baba sits opposite me and sighs. She opens her mouth to speak, but no words come out. She shuffles in her chair and tries again. What does it matter that you're dead? She shrugs stiffly. You're the next guardian. I've always told you that. It's important to me. Tears pour down my face as the truth seeps in. I'm dead. How can I be dead? I'm not like the faded dead that drift to the house at night. This doesn't make sense, I say, shaking my head. I feel alive. I feel real. And you said souls can't stay in this world after death, so how am I here? You're different. You're Yaga, the next guardian. Are all Yaga dead? I interrupt, frowning as I try to make sense of it all. Are you dead too? No, Yaga aren't dead. But it makes no difference that you are. Baba waves my death away like it's no big deal. You've lived in this house so long it's given you enough energy to seem alive. You can do everything a living person can do while you're here. Then why did I fade? I ask, although I know the answer already. Because you left the house. Baba's eyes well up. The further you go away from the house, the more you'll fade. You can only exist here, on the threshold of life and death. I drop my spoon into my bowl and abandon all pretense of eating. I feel dizzy and sick. How can I live here forever? If I'm dead, if I can only exist here, in this house, then all hope is lost. This morning, at least I had a hope of somehow escaping this destiny, but now I realise I'm stuck. Stuck in this house on legs, always moving, never making friends. Forever. It's not fair, I shout so loud it makes my ears hurt. I don't want to live here and I don't want to be the next guardian. My skin is hot, all the muscles in my neck tight. Baba's face falls and I see sorrow in her eyes. You can't change what you are, Marinka. You made this choice. I never made this choice. This isn't what I want. I want a normal life and a normal house and a normal grandmother. I regret it as soon as I say it, but I can't take it back. So I just stare at the slowly congealing ukka in front of me. Baba puts her hands on mine. You died when you were a baby, and I guided you through the gate. But you came back. Your soul chose to stay here with me and the house. You must be Yaga. I lean back in my chair and stare at her. I can't be Yaga. Baba is calm and wise and she loves this life with the dead. It makes her smile and sing and dance, but I'm not like her. I'm not like her at all. A thought suddenly occurs to me, and with it an icy chill rushes through my veins. You're not my real grandmother, are you? Baba squeezes my hands tight. I love you as much as any real grandmother. More. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. My jaw drops open. I don't understand. What about all the things you said to me about my parents? I clutch at the memories Baba gave me of them, and they start to unravel. Were they all lies? My voice rises as I realise I have no idea what is true anymore. Are they even dead? Yes, they died in a house fire, as I told you, but you were with them. The image of a Yaga house in flames runs through my mind, as it's done 1,000 times before, but this time I doubt everything about it. Was it a Yaga house? I demand. The room is spinning, my whole world falling apart at the seams. Baba looks at our hands, still entwined on the table, and shakes her head. Why would you lie about that? I pull my hands away and glare at her. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lie or hide the truth. It's just She looks up at the rafters like the words she's searching for are up there. It's just, I loved you being my granddaughter, so your parents being Yaga crept into all the stories I told you about them. As time went on, it became more and more difficult to tell you the truth. So, my parents weren't Yaga. Baba shakes her head, and a glimmer of hope sparks in my mind as I realise being Yaga isn't in my blood after all. But it flickers out again when I remember I'm dead. So I'm stuck in the house either way. The bones, I blurt out, scowling at Baba as I remember all the times I've worked with the fence bones, believing it was something my parents had done. You wanted something that belonged to your parents, and you liked being outside. Baba looks at me apologetically. It made you happy to think the bones were once theirs. Is anything true? I rise to my feet, wanting more than anything to storm off, but there are still so many questions I want answers to, and there's nowhere I can run to anyway. I retreat to the wall and lean against it, my legs all wobbly. My mother sails through my thoughts, paddling over dark, starry waters. The gondola story, I sob. It's all lies. No, that wasn't a lie. I guided your parents so their lives added to mine. All the stories I told you about them were true. They did meet in the sinking city, just as I said. I only added the bits about their houses being Yaga houses. I wanted us to be a family, not just me and you, but your parents too. I guess I was daydreaming out loud. I always wanted a family of my own. I looked at Baba like I'm seeing her for the first time. As someone who also dreamed of being more than Yaga, of having a family and a life beyond the house with chicken legs. Your parents loved you more than anything. Baba dabbed her eyes with her shawl. It was their deepest regret they wouldn't get to watch you grow. They wanted you to live so much. When I guided them, I felt all their emotions as if they were my own. So when you came back, it brought me so much joy. I knew I could love you as much as they did and give you a life. Maybe not a life with the living, but a life as a Yaga. I know it's not the same, but it can be wonderful if you give it a chance. How many people get to travel the world in a magical house? Vines fall from the rafters, tiny white flowers blooming along their length as they curl beneath me and entwine to make a swing seat. I untangle myself from the house and I sit back at the table. But I don't want to be Yaga! My heart feels like it's cracking into pieces. Baba reaches for my hands again and looks into my eyes. You're bound to the house, and the house is bound to the gate, and the dead must be guided. I roll my eyes away, but Baba squeezes my hands until I look back at her. You're a good girl, Marinka, so I know you'll care for the house as it cares for you, and I know you'll do the right thing for the dead. A smile spreads across her face. But you're also clever, stubborn and fiery, so if anyone can figure out how to be Yaga and more than Yaga, then it's you. But how... What do you mean? We need to guide her through the gate. Baba tilts her head towards Nina. Then you can figure it out. Everything will fall into place, I'm sure of it. The morning is wiser than the evening. I look at Nina, sitting comfortably in front of the fire. Do we have to guide her now? Can't it wait until tomorrow night? Baba shakes her head. She's been here too long already. Come on. Baba pulls me up. Help her remember who she was. I talk to Nina, call her by her name and remind her about the white house on the edge of the desert, the channels her father dug and the seeds he planted, the figs, orange trees and the oleanders he grew for his mother, because she loved the flowers so much. I remind her about her sisters and the camel she once had and the chameleons and the cobra she found in her garden. Her eyes shine as she remembers more. Grandparents visiting, bringing fruits from faraway lands and small wooden doll with cheeks painted pink. She remembers planting seeds with her father, earth in her fingernails, trees growing tall and filling with life. Sitting with her mother, watching speckled wings and silver eyes fly through sunsets. I'm there with her. I see it all and I feel it all. Nina's happy memories mingle with the sadness I feel at losing my friend, and a lump forms in my throat. The gate opens. Everything in the room leans towards it. I grip my chair to stop from sliding in. Baba appears at Nina's side. What do you take with you to the stars? She asks. The joy of nurturing life, Nina replies. Baba kisses her cheek and leads her to the gate, murmuring the death journey words. I watch them walk away, confused. Why didn't Baba let me say the words? We carry with us memories of infinite value, the joy of nurturing life. Baba looks back at me and smiles. Tears are in her eyes, and I know something is wrong. I have to go with her, she whispers. I'm sorry. What? No! I shoot up, knocking over my chair and crashing into the corner of the table. You said we should never go into the gate. She's been here too long. She's weak. I must show her the way, help her over the glassy mountains, maybe even a little further. You'll be fine, Marinka. I have faith in you and the house. Baba nods and steps into the darkness. Peace at returning to the stars. The great cycle is complete. No, wait! I shove the table out of the way and rush towards her. Too late. The gate blinks out. And just like that, I'm all alone.